Emily believed she was alone in the mansion until she encountered a stranger holding her baby, the man who would force her to make the hardest choice of her life. Leave a comment about where you're watching from. Let's get to the story. Emily balanced her bag on her shoulder, the diaper bag in the other hand, and pushed the stroller with her foot while trying to unlock the back door of the mansion. Lily whined softly, her little nose stuffed up, making that sound that broke any mother's heart. "Calm down, my love. We're coming in," she whispered finally. Managing to open the door, the July cold cut like a blade. Emily looked at her 8-month-old daughter wrapped in 3 blankets and felt the tightness in her chest that she felt every time she had to bring her to work. The daycare had called, saying they couldn't accept children with flu symptoms, and there was no other option. She needed the job. She crossed the huge kitchen, her footsteps echoing in the silence of the empty house. A month working there, and she still felt small next to so much luxury. Italian marble, crystal chandeliers, paintings that probably cost more than her entire life, everything covered by a fine layer of dust that she had been removing little by little. Mr. Anderson would be back the next day. The secretary who hired her over the phone had been clear. The mansion needed to be spotless for the boss's return after 6 months abroad. Lily sniffled and whined louder. "I know, baby, it's cold." Emily climbed the stairs to the 2nd floor, testing the heaters in each room. Living room, not working. Library, broken. Guest room, nothing. Finally, in the office at the end of the hallway, warm air blew when she turned on the heater. "There you go, my princess. It will be nice and warm here." She positioned the stroller away from the direct draft, but close enough to the heater. Lily was already calmer, her little eyes heavy with sleep and medicine. Emily adjusted the blankets, kissed her daughter's warm forehead, and checked the baby monitor in her pocket. "Mommy will be right back, okay? I'm just going to clean the living room, and I'll be back." She mentally went down the stairs, reviewing the task list. Vacuum the Persian rugs, polish the wooden staircase, clean the windows of the main room. If she worked quickly, she would finish before Lily woke up for the next bottle. 2 hours later, she was on her knees finishing the floor of the dining room when she heard a muffled cry. Emily dropped the cloth and ran upstairs. Her heart raced. Lily must have woken up, but the monitor hadn't beeped. She stopped at the office door, frozen. A man was standing with his back to her, tall, broad shoulders under a dark grey sweater. He held Lily against his chest, gently rocking her. The baby was whimpering, but never calm. "Shh, little one, it's okay." His voice was deep, low and careful. Emily couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The man turned around and their eyes met. He was handsome in a devastating way. Dark hair, slightly disheveled, stubble, deep brown eyes that carried an ancient weariness. But what paralyzed her was the expression on his face, a mix of surprise, confusion, and something that seemed like pain. "Who are you?" he asked, but his voice held no hostility. It sounded almost lost. I'm Emily," she managed to say, her voice trembling. "The maid, Mrs. Vera, hired me a month ago." "Vera?" He looked at Lily in his arms, and then back at Emily. Something passed over his face, something broken. "I'm sorry. I didn't know you were coming today." Emily stepped forward, extending her arms. "She's sick. The daycare wouldn't take her. I had no one to leave her with." "How many months?" he interrupted. "What?" "The baby. How many months?" 8. He closed his eyes for a second too long. When he opened them, there was something different there, something dangerously fragile. "She was crying," he simply said. "I arrived, heard the crying, came in, and rocked Lily more. Carefully." He held her as if thinking. Emily finally approached, but he didn't immediately return the baby. He continued rocking her as if he didn't realize what he was doing. "Are you Mr. Anderson?" "Louise Anderson." I am. Lily sniffled and buried her little face in his chest. Luis looked down at the baby in his arms, and Emily saw his expression shatter before he composed himself again. I'm sorry. He extended Lily to Emily, but his hands took a moment to let go. I shouldn't have. I didn't ask if I could. No, it's fine. Emily settled her daughter against her chest. You calmed her, thank you. Silence. Luis ran a hand through his hair and turned to the window. His shoulders were too tense. The house is well taken care of, he said, still facing away. You did a good job. Thank you, sir. Just Luis, no need for formality. Emily didn't know how to respond. He continued looking out the window, hands in his pockets, the posture of someone carrying the world on their shoulders. She can stay, he said suddenly. The baby, if you need to bring her again, you can. The office is big enough. Okay, Mr. Luis. I don't want to be a bother. Normally, the daycare accepts it was just today because it's not a bother. He turned, and Emily saw something in his eyes that made her silent. Really, it doesn't bother me. Lily sniffled, and Emily automatically rocked her. Does she need medicine? Luis asked. Has she taken any? She'll be fine soon. He nodded but didn't leave. He stood there looking at Lily with an intensity that Emily couldn't decipher. I need coffee, he finally said. Strong. Do you know how to make coffee? Yes. Great. Prepare a pot. I'm going to take a shower. He walked past Emily, and when their shoulders almost touched, she felt his warmth, the scent of expensive cologne mixed with travel fatigue. He stopped at the door. Emily. Yes? Welcome to the Anderson mansion. And he left, leaving her alone with 1,000 questions and a strange tightness in her chest. Lily grumbled, and Emily kissed her forehead. Who is that man, my love? She whispered. But deep down, something in her already knew. Her life had just changed. Emily prepared the strongest coffee she knew how to make. Her hands trembled slightly. As she placed the pot and a cup on the silver tray she found in the kitchen cabinet. She slowly climbed the stairs, Lily sleeping in the stroller she had brought to the kitchen. She stopped in front of the office door and knocked twice. Come in. Lucas was sitting behind the enormous mahogany desk, his hair still damp from the shower, wearing a black dress shirt with the sleeves rolled up to his elbows. He had taken off his shoes. Something about that detail made him seem human, vulnerable. Emily placed the tray on the table. Thank you. He poured the coffee into the cup, took a sip, and closed his eyes. Perfect. Do you need anything else? Actually, I do. He opened his eyes and studied her. Please, have a seat. Emily sat at the edge of the leather armchair, her hands on her knees. Lucas took another sip of coffee, buying time. When he spoke, his voice was lower. The secretary who hired you didn't explain why the house was closed. She said you were abroad for work. Work, he laughed humorlessly. It's one way to put it. Silence. My wife died 8 months ago, he said. Suddenly, and Emily felt the ground disappear beneath her feet. During childbirth, she and the baby, our son. My God. I went to Switzerland. Treatment, they said, for the head, for the heart, for whatever is broken in me. He spun the cup between his fingers. I came back early because I couldn't stand being there anymore. Lucas, I'm so sorry. When I heard your daughter crying today, he interrupted her, his eyes fixed on her. For a second I thought I was going crazy, that it was hallucinations, but it was real. She was real. Emily didn't know what to say. I didn't tell you this to make you uncomfortable, he continued, but because you're going to work here, you need to understand. This house has ghosts. I have ghosts. I understand. Do you really? She thought of all the nights alone with Lily, the father who vanished when he found out about the pregnancy, the loneliness gnawing inside her. More than you can imagine. Something passed between them, a silent recognition. Lucas finished his coffee and stood up. Rest. We'll talk about work properly tomorrow. Emily stood up too, but at the door she turned. Lucas, yes? She cried today because she was cold, but starting tomorrow I promise that won't happen again. He was silent for so long that Emily thought he wouldn't respond. Emily, yes. Bring her whenever you need to. And for the first time, he almost smiled. Almost. 3 days later, Emily discovered that Lucy Anderson wasn't sleeping. It was 4 a.m. when she went downstairs to prepare Lily's bottle. The baby had woken up crying, her nose still stuffed from the cold that insisted on lingering. Emily expected to find the kitchen dark and silent. Instead, she found Lucas sitting at the kitchen table, surrounded by papers, a forgotten cup of coffee beside him. He looked up when she entered. He didn't seem surprised. "Still sick?" he asked. "She's getting better, but the nights are worse." Emily lit the stove to heat the water. "Sorry if I woke you." "You didn't wake me. I wasn't sleeping." "Since when?" "Since I arrived." Emily looked at him properly. The dark circles under his eyes were deep and purple. He was wearing the same clothes as the day before. "You worked all night." "I tried. I can't concentrate." He gathered the papers into a careless pile. "The silence here is too loud." Emily understood exactly what he meant. She poured the hot water into the bottle, testing the temperature on her wrist. "Do you want me to make fresh coffee?" "I've had 4 cups. I think my heart will explode if I have another." "Then, hot milk with honey." She grabbed a mug without waiting for a response. "My grandmother used to say it calms the soul." "Your grandmother was wise." She was. Lucas watched as she prepared the drink. Her movements were efficient, careful. She placed the mug in front of him and sat down, with Lily in her lap. "Thank you." He took a sip and closed his eyes. "Your grandmother was right." Lily began to nurse, her little eyes closed, her tiny hands gripping the bottle. Lucas looked at her with that expression Emily was starting to recognize, pain and fascination mixed. "Can I ask you something?" he said. "Sure." "Is her father in your lives?" Emily took a moment to respond. Lily hiccuped, and she adjusted the baby better in her lap. "No. He left when he found out I was pregnant." Her voice didn't tremble. She had practiced that sentence until it didn't hurt anymore. "He said he wasn't ready to be a father, blocked my number. I never saw him again. Idiot." The word came out with such anger that Emily blinked in surprise. "I'm sorry," Lucas rubbed his face, "but it's true. What kind of man abandons?" He didn't finish. He didn't need to. "And you?" Emily used to ask. "Do you have family besides the ones you lost?" "My parents died when I was 20. Car accident." He spun the mug between his hands. "I have an aunt in New York. She called twice since I got back." I didn't answer. "Why not?" "Because she's going to want to talk about overcoming, about moving on, about how time heals everything." His voice was bitter. "And I don't want to hear well-meaning lies." Lily finished the bottle and burped gently. Emily smiled and wiped her daughter's little mouth. "There you go, princess. Now go back to sleep." She stood up, but Lucas spoke before she could leave. "You can stay if you want. I mean, you don't have to go back upstairs immediately. The silence is too loud. I know." She sat back down. Lily was already asleep again, who had been against her chest. "Tell me about her," Lucas suddenly asked. "About your daughter. What is it like to be a mother alone?" Emily thought of all the rehearsed answers she would give when someone asked. "It's hard but rewarding. I manage. We're fine," but it was 4 in the morning, and there was something in the way Lucas looked at her that demanded honesty. "It's terrifying," he said. "Every day I wake up afraid of not being enough, of making mistakes, of not being able to give her everything she deserves, but you're trying. That's all I can do." Lucas fell silent, looking at Lily sleeping. "She's lucky to have you. I don't know if I'm the lucky one to have her. Both things can be true." Emily smiled faintly. Lucas picked up the mug again, but didn't drink. He just held it as if he needed something in his hands. "My son was going to be named James," he said so quietly that Emily almost didn't hear. "Anna chose. She said it was a strong name, a name fit for a king. It's a beautiful name. He was born perfect, small, but perfect." Held him for 2 minutes before his voice broke. 2 minutes. And then he was gone. And Anna soon after. Emily felt tears burning, but she didn't let them fall. "Lucas, everyone tells me it will pass, that the pain will lessen, that I'll be able to move on." He finally looked at her, and there was so much suffering there that Emily lost her breath. "But what if I don't want it to pass? What if the pain is all I have left of them?" "Then you carry it for as long as you need." Emily said softly, "No, one has the right to tell you how or when to get over it. Do you understand?" "I do." And for the first time since she arrived, Lucas seemed to really see her. Not as a maid, not as an intruder with a baby, but as someone who understood the weight of carrying it alone. "Thank you," he said, "for not lying, for not saying that everything will be okay. It will be different," Emily corrected. "But I don't know if it will be okay. I think we just learned to breathe with the weight." Lucas finished the milk and stood up. "I need to try to sleep for a few hours. Good night or good morning." He almost smiled. Almost. At the kitchen door. He stopped. "Emily, yes, tomorrow. Today, I mean, when you wake up, you can have breakfast here downstairs. You and Lily. You don't have to eat alone in your room. Are you sure?" "I am." And he left, leaving Emily alone with the sleeping baby and a strange warmth in her chest. Breakfast became a ritual. Lucas was always in the kitchen when Emily came down at 7 sharp. He brewed coffee while she made porridge for Lily and toast for them. They didn't talk much, but it was comfortable company. On the 4th day, Lucas appeared with a high chair. "I found it in storage," he said, almost embarrassed. "It was for Lily. It's new. I thought it would make it easier for you." Emily looked at the wooden high chair. Light blue, colorful cushions, still with the tag. "Lucas, I can't accept this. It's here unused. And Lily is getting too big for you to hold while she eats." He set up the high chair near the table. "There you go, now you can eat with both hands." Lily loved it. She clapped her hands and squealed with joy when Emily placed her there. Lucas stood still, watching that expression on her face. "She's excited," he commented. "Too much. Not for a second. How many teeth have come in?" 4. 2 more are coming in. That's why she wakes up so much at night." Lucas nodded, absorbing the information as if it were important. He sat in front of Lily, and the baby immediately reached out her little arms to him. "I think she likes you," Emily said. "Really? She doesn't do that. With strangers." Lucas extended his finger and Lily grabbed it tightly, laughing that sweet baby laugh. "Hi, little Lily," he said softly. "Okay, today you're more smiley, right?" Lily squealed and kicked her legs. Translation: "Yes." Emily joked. Lucas smiled genuinely this time, and Emily realized it was the first time she had seen that. The smile completely transformed his face. He looked younger, lighter, more alive. "She's amazing," he said, still holding Lily's little finger. "You're very lucky." "I know." They had coffee like that. Lily celebrating, Lucas smiling more than Emily thought possible, and she felt something dangerous settling in her chest. Hope maybe, or something worse. The following week, Lucas started to help. Emily was cleaning the windows on the 2nd floor when he appeared. "You shouldn't be doing this," he said, taking the cloth from her hand. "It's dangerous. The ladder is unstable. I can do it. I'll do it. You take care of Lily." And he did. While Emily folded clothes, Lucas cleaned all the windows on the floor. Then he fixed the broken latch on the laundry room door. He changed 3 burnt-out light bulbs, tightened the loose screws on the kitchen chair. "You don't have to do this, Emily," he said. "I'm the one who works here. I live here. I can help take care of the house." He put away the toolbox. "Besides, it distracts me." "From what?" "From thinking." Emily understood. 2 weeks after Lucas returned, Emily noticed the change. He started showing up during Lily's feeding times. It wasn't obvious. He always had an excuse. He needed water when it was time for the afternoon bottle. He needed a document when Lily woke up from her nap. He was hungry when Emily was preparing baby food, but he was always there. And Lily adored him. She squealed with joy when she saw Lucas, stretched out her little arms, cried when he left. "I think you've become her favorite," Emily joked one afternoon. "Impossible. You're her mother. Mother is obligation. You're the novelty." Lucas was sitting on the living room floor, Lily in his lap. The baby was trying to grab his watch, and he let her patiently. "She's smart," he said. "Look how focused she is. She's thinking about how to get it. She actually wants to bite it. Oral phase. Oh," he pulled the watch away before Lily could get it. Then no. Lily made a pout and Lucas laughed. "No use making faces. Watches aren't for eating." Emily watched the two of them. The way Lucas held Lily, secure yet gentle. The way he spoke to her, as if she understood every word. The way he smiled when Lily laughed and felt his heart tighten. He didn't think it couldn't be this. But it was too late. The night that changed everything arrived without warning. Lily woke up at 2 a.m. crying desperately. Emily rushed in, but when she picked up the baby, she felt the heat, fever, high. Damn, damn, damn. She ran to the bathroom and grabbed the thermometer. 103.1 degrees. Lily cried incessantly, her little body hot and trembling. Emily tried to give her medicine, but Lily spat it out. She tried water, same thing. The baby just cried. That piercing cry that tears at any mother's soul. "It's okay, my love. Mommy is here." Emily rocked her, but her hands trembled. "It will pass. It will pass." There was a knock at the door. Lucas entered without waiting for a response. In sweatpants and a t-shirt, his hair disheveled. What happened? Very high fever. "She won't stop crying. She won't take medicine. I don't know what to do." The words tumbled out, panic taking over. Lucas crossed the room in 2 strides. "Let me see." He touched Lily's forehead. "It's very hot." "How much?" 103.1 degrees Celsius. "Hospital now." "But the medicine might work, Emily." He held her arm firmly. "Hospital. Now my car is in the garage." She nodded, unable to speak. She grabbed Lily's bag with trembling hands, putting in diapers, clothes, the insurance card. "I'll drive." Lucas grabbed the keys. "You stay with her in the back." The drive to the hospital was a blur. Emily held Lily, who wouldn't stop crying, and Lucas drove fast but steady, talking the whole time. "It's going to be okay. We're almost there. Hang in there a little longer, little Lily." They entered through the pediatric emergency. Lucas didn't wait for reception. "Baby with a fever of 103.1 degrees. He told the first nurse he saw. 8 months old, won't take medication." The nurse took them straight to a room. The doctor arrived within minutes. Emily answered all the questions on autopilot. Symptoms, how long, what medicine was given. Lily was examined, treated differently, monitored. An hour later, the fever began to drop. Lily finally stopped crying and fell asleep exhausted. The doctor left to get the test results. Emily collapsed into the chair next to the hospital bed where Lily slept. Her hands still trembled, her heart still raced. Emily. Lucas knelt in front of her. "Breathe. She's okay. The fever has gone down. I was so scared." Her voice came out broken. "When she cried like that, I thought, I know, but it's over. She's okay." Emily covered her face with her hands. All the fear, all the panic, all the exhaustion came at once, and then she felt Lucas's arms around her. He hugged her tightly, warmly, solidly, and Emily let herself be held. She buried her face in his chest and clutched his shirt tightly, as if it were the only real thing in the world. "Thank you," she whispered, "for being there, for bringing us, for always staying," he said against her hair. "I will always be here." And in that moment, in that hospital room, with the smell of disinfectant and fluorescent light, something changed between them, something that couldn't be undone. They returned home as the sun rose. Lily slept in the crib, her fever controlled, the diagnosis confirmed, throat infection, antibiotic for 7 days, lots of fluids. Lucas carried the crib to Emily's room. She followed, too exhausted to do more than put one foot in front of the other. "Rest," he said. "I'll keep an eye on her. If you need anything, just call me." "Lucas, you don't have to. I want to," he interrupted her. He looked at her, and there was something different in his eyes, something intense. "Let me do this, please." Emily nodded, too tired to argue. She lay down on the bed, still dressed, and fell asleep in seconds. When she woke up hours later, she found Lucas sitting in the chair next to the crib. Lily was sleeping peacefully. He had a book on his lap but wasn't reading. He was just watching the baby sleep. "You stayed here the whole time?" Emily asked, her voice hoarse from sleep. "She's important," he simply said. "You're important." And Emily knew with absolute certainty that she was lost. Completely lost. Sunday arrived warm, even though it was July. Emily woke up to Lily singing in the crib that sweet sound babies make when they're happy. The infection had completely passed. 7 days of antibiotics, and the little one was back to being her usual smiling self. "Good morning, Princess." Emily stretched and picked up her daughter. Someone woke up cheerful today. Lily clapped her hands and tugged at her mother's hair. "Oh, gentle, Lily, gentle." Emily kissed her chubby cheek. "Let's have breakfast." She went downstairs, expecting to find Lucas in the kitchen as always. But the house was quiet, different. The kitchen table was set. Not the solitary cup of coffee for Lucas, but 2 cups, plates, utensils, and in the center a basket of fresh bread that definitely wasn't there yesterday. "Good morning." Emily turned. Lucas was at the door, in jeans and a simple white t-shirt, barefoot, his hair damp. "You went out to buy bread?" she asked, surprised. "Bakery on the corner. I thought it would be a nice start to Sunday." He approached, extending his arms. "Can I?" Emily handed Lily over without hesitation. The baby squealed with joy and grabbed Lucas's face. "Someone's happy today?" He laughed, dodging the little fingers trying to poke his nose. "Hi, little one. Did you miss me?" Lily babbled something that sounded like Pa, and Lucas froze. Emily saw the expression pass over his face. Surprise, pain, something deeper that she couldn't name. "She doesn't really talk yet," Emily said quickly. "It's just random sounds." "I know," but Lucas held Lily a little tighter for a second. "Shall we eat? I bought those cheese breads you mentioned you liked. During breakfast, Lily." Emily sat in the high chair making a mess with pieces of papaya. Lucas tried to teach her to eat with a spoon, but she preferred to use her hands. "Give up," Emily laughed. "You're going to lose this battle." "I never give up." But he was smiling, wiping the fruit puree off his own arm, where Lily had accidentally thrown it. "Can I ask you something?" Emily always used to say. "What did you do before? I mean your job." "You never talk about it." Lucas wiped his hands on the napkin thoughtfully. "Technology, software. I built a company from scratch with 2 partners." He took a sip of coffee. "We sold it last year. It was profitable. That's why the mansion." "That's why the mansion," he agreed. "And the emptiness that money can't fill." Emily didn't know how to respond to that. "And you?" He asked what he wanted to do before Lily, before everything. No one had ever asked that. People saw a single mother, a housekeeper, and assumed that was all she was or wanted to be. Education, she said softly. I wanted to be a preschool teacher. I did a year of college before him, before the idiot. Emily smiled despite everything. Before the idiot, she confirmed. I dropped out when I found out I was pregnant. Then Lily was born, and, well, you can't pay for college and daycare and rent on a part-time salary. Lucas was silent for a long moment, wishing he could go back. It's a beautiful dream, but it's not realistic. Why not? Because real life doesn't work that way. But it could. Emily was about to respond when Lily threw her cup of water to the side, soaking the table. The moment broke, and Emily stood up to clean the mess. But throughout the rest of the day, she noticed Lucas looking at her differently, as if he were calculating something, planning. In the afternoon, Lucas appeared in the laundry room where Emily was folding clothes. Come with me, he said. What? Where to? It's a surprise. Grab Lily. 10 minutes later, they were in the backyard of the mansion, a garden that Emily had never properly seen because she was always busy inside the house. It was huge, with a pristine lawn, leafy trees, and even a small pond with koi fish. I didn't know all of this was here, Emily said, amazed. I had forgotten too. Lucas spread a blanket in the shade of a tree. Anna loved this place. She spent months planning every detail. Emily sat on the blanket with Lily in her lap. The baby immediately started pulling at the grass, fascinated by the texture. It must be hard, she said softly, being here with all the memories. Yeah, isn't it? Lucas sat beside them, his legs stretched out. At first it was impossible. Every corner of the house screamed her name. But now, he looked at Lily, there's life here again. Sound, movement, purpose. Because of a noisy baby, Emily joked. Because of you two. The way he said it, looking directly at her, made Emily's heart skip a beat. Lily crawled over to Lucas and used his leg to pull herself up. He instinctively supported her. Look at that, he said, impressed. She's almost walking. She walks all over the house, holding onto the furniture. It's just a matter of weeks before she lets go. I'm going to miss that, he said suddenly, his voice strange. Miss what? Her first steps. When you find another job, another place, I'm going to miss it. Emily hadn't thought about that. She hadn't thought about leaving. The idea of leaving the mansion, of leaving Lucas, caused a physical pain in her chest. I'm not looking for another place, she said. No, unless you want me to go. No. He replied too quickly, too intensely. I don't want that. Silence. Lily got tired of standing and sat on Lucas's lap, resting her little head on his chest. Within seconds, she was asleep. She trusts you, Emily observed. Completely. It's mutual. Lucas adjusted Lily better in his arms. That little one, she saved me. You know what I mean? How so? When I came back, I was empty, just functioning, going from one room to another day to day without feeling anything. He looked at the sleeping baby and then heard that cry. I went into the office, and for the first time in months, I felt something beyond pain. What? Need. Someone needed me. Not for my money, not for my company, just for me. He gently traced his finger along Lily's cheek. And then you came in, and I saw you trying to do everything alone, being strong when you were scared, loving that baby with a fierceness I had never seen. Lucas, you made me remember that there is love in the world, that there are things worth fighting for. Emily felt tears welling up. You're giving me too much credit. I'm just trying to survive. No. He looked at her. You're living against all odds. You're building a life for you two. That's not just survival, it's courage. No one had ever seen Emily that way. strong, brave, more than a statistic, more than a single mother struggling. "Thank you," she whispered. They stayed like that. Lily sleeping in Lucas's lap, the sun filtering through the trees, the sound of birds in the background. And for the first time since arriving at the mansion, Emily allowed herself to imagine, what if she could stay? What if this became real? "Emily," Lucas's voice brought her back. "Yes. Can I be honest with you?" "Always." He hesitated, choosing his words. "I don't know what I'm doing with you, with Lily, with this." He made a vague gesture between them. "I just know that when you two aren't around, the house goes back to being empty, and when you are, I can breathe." "Lucas, I'm not asking for anything. I'm not expecting anything. I just needed you to know." Emily's heart was beating so fast that she was sure he could hear it. "I breathe better when you're around too," she admitted. Lucas closed his eyes as if those words hurt. "This is dangerous. I know you work for me. I know, and I'm a mess. I'm broken into so many pieces that I don't even know if it can be fixed. I don't need you to be fixed." Emily stepped closer, boldly. "I just need you to be you." He opened his eyes, and what she saw there made her tremble. Desire, fear, hope, all mixed together. "If we do this," he said softly, "there's no going back. Then we won't go back." Lily mumbled in her sleep, and the moment passed. But something had changed. Something had been said without words, a line had been crossed, and neither of them wanted to go back. The following week was different. Lucas started working from home. He set up his office in the second-floor library, where he could hear when Lily woke up from her nap. They had lunch together every day. Emily cooked while Lucas set the table. Lily commanded from her high chair, throwing food and laughing when they rushed to clean up. "She's doing it on purpose," Lucas said one afternoon, cleaning mashed potatoes off the floor. "Of course. And you let her because you think she's cute." "I do. She is cute." "You're spoiling her." "Well, she deserves to be pampered." Emily rolled her eyes but was smiling. That night, after Emily put Lily to bed, she and Lucas met in the living room. He lit the fireplace, even though it wasn't that cold. She brought tea. They talked about everything and nothing. "What's your fondest childhood memory?" he asked one night. "My grandma teaching me how to make cornbread. She let me crack the eggs, even knowing I would make a mess." Emily smiled at the memory. "And yours?" "My dad teaching me how to drive. I was 12. I drove his car straight into the property's pond." Lucas laughed. He didn't get mad, just said, "Well, now you know where the break is." He looked great. He was. Lucas's voice grew quieter. "I miss them so much." "The people we love never really leave," Emily said. "They stay here." She touched her own chest, where the things they taught us reside, the memories they left behind. Lucas looked at her so intensely that Emily forgot how to breathe. "How do you do that?" he asked. "What?" "Say exactly what I need to hear, maybe because I need to hear it too." He leaned closer on the couch, not too much, just enough for their knees to touch. Emily started to speak, but she interrupted herself. "I know what you're going to say, that this is complicated, that it needs time, that you don't know if you're ready." She looked him in the eye. "And that's okay. I'm scared too, but I'm tired of being afraid to live." "You're not afraid of anything." "I'm afraid of everything. I just pretend well." Lucas smiled, slowly raised his hand, giving her time to pull back. He touched her face, his thumb caressing her cheek. "You're amazing," he whispered. "You are too." He leaned in slowly, giving her all the time in the world to pull away. Emily didn't pull away. Their lips touched, softly, carefully. A question more than a statement, and then deeper. His hand buried in her hair, hers gripping his shirt. Mixed breaths, hearts beating together. When they pulled apart, Lucas rested his forehead against hers. "I've been waiting for this for weeks," he admitted. "Why didn't you do it sooner?" "Because once I started, I knew I wouldn't be able to stop." And then he kissed her again and again and again, until they heard Lily crying on the monitor. They separated, breathless. "Bad timing," Lucas murmured, making Emily laugh. "Welcome to life with a baby. I wouldn't trade it for anything." And she knew he wasn't just talking about Lily. The following days were the happiest of Emily's life. Lucas kissed her in the morning in the kitchen. He stole kisses when they passed each other in the hallway. He held her hand while they watched Lily play. He bought new toys, an activity, mat, cloth books, a musical mobile for the crib. "You're going to end up filling the house with baby stuff," Emily said. "And what's wrong with that?" "Nothing. I just thought it was funny. I love seeing her happy, seeing you happy. I'm more than I ever thought possible." Lucas pulled her into a hug. "Me too." At night, after Lily fell asleep, they sat on the couch intertwined. Sometimes they talked, sometimes they just sat there in comfortable silence. "I'm thinking about something," Lucas said one night. "What?" "What if you went back to school?" Emily pulled away to look at him. "Lucas, listen, you could do online college, education. I can help with—" "No, Emily, I don't want your money." She stood up. "That's not why I'm here." He stood up too, holding her arms. "I know that. I'm not offering out of pity or charity. I'm offering because you deserve to fulfill your dream." "I can't accept." "Why not?" "Why?" "Because I don't know what this is." She gestured between them. "I don't know if it will last. I don't know if—" "Hey!" He held her face, forcing her to look at him. "I don't know the future, but I know the now. And right now, I want to see you happy. I want to give you the things that the idiot should have given you. You don't need to fix my life. I'm not fixing. I'm investing in you, in us." Emily felt tears welling up. "I'm scared," she whispered. "Of what?" "Waking up and finding out this is a dream, that I'm going to lose you." "Lose this?" Lucas pulled her into a tight embrace. "It's not a dream. It's real. I'm real. This is real." And she believed for 3 perfect days. She believed. And then everything fell apart. Emily woke in the middle of the night to the sound of something breaking, quickly grabbed Lily and left the room. The house was dark, except for a light coming from the library. Lucas. Silence. She climbed the stairs, her heart racing, pushed the library door open. Lucas was on the floor, surrounded by broken glass, a glass or several, the half-empty whiskey bottle beside him. Lucas. She knelt down, careful of the glass. What happened? He lifted his eyes, which were red. He had been crying. "I received a call." The voice was hoarse. From the hospital in Geneva. Emily felt the ground disappear. "What?" "Test results. Tests I had last month before coming back." He laughed humorlessly. "I thought it was stress, fatigue, headaches, insomnia." "Lucas, are you scaring me?" He looked at her, and there was so much despair in his eyes that Emily stopped breathing. "Brain tumor, inoperable." The words came out broken. They gave a year at most. The world stopped. "No," Emily whispered. "It can't be true. I wanted to tell you. I was waiting for confirmation from the American doctors," but he gestured to the fallen phone. "They confirmed. It's real. I'm dying." Lily started to cry, feeling the tension. Emily instinctively rocked her, but she couldn't take her eyes off Lucas. "We can treat it, do surgery, chemotherapy. There has to be something." "There isn't." He stood up unsteadily. "They said everything. There is no treatment, just time and little of it. Then we make the most of every second." "No," he said firmly. "Then, Emily, you don't understand." "I do understand. You're scared, but it's not fear." He shouted and Lily cried louder. "It's certainty. I'm going to die and I'm not going to drag you." And Lily with me. It's not your decision, it is. I can't do this, letting you get more attached, letting Lily see me wither away, letting you suffer. I'm already attached, Emily shouted back. We already love you. There's no going back. The silence that followed was deafening. Lucas looked at her, then at Lily, then back at her. You need to leave, he finally said. What? Leave, you and Lily. Tomorrow I will pay 3 months' salary, help you find a place, but you need to go. You're not serious. I am. But his voice broke. Emily, please don't make this harder than it already is. Harder. Tears streamed down her face. You're sending me away. You're giving up before even fighting. I don't have to fight. He punched the wall and Emily jumped. I've already lost. The game is over, and I'm not going to let you see me die. So that's it. After everything, you just give up on us. Lucas closed his eyes. Go away, Emily, please, just go. And he turned his back. Emily stood there, Lily crying in her arms, her heart shattering. You're a coward, she said softly. I thought you were strong. I thought you were brave, but you're doing exactly what he did. Lucas turned, his eyes wide. What? You're abandoning me, just like Lily's father. When it got tough, when it required courage, you ran away. Her voice was cold. So, congratulations, you're just like him. It's not the same. It is. He left me because he didn't want the responsibility. You're leaving me because you don't want me to see you weak. But in the end, both of you are abandoning me. Emily, it's not like that. I'm leaving tomorrow, she interrupted him, as you asked, but I want you to know one thing. You had a family. We were here ready to stay, to love you until the last second, and you threw that away. She left before he could respond, before she saw him collapse on the floor, before she heard him cry her name. Emily didn't sleep. She sat on the bed with Lily, finally asleep beside her, and looked around the room that had been her home for almost 2 months. Small, but cozy, safe, filled with memories that now hurt like open wounds. She picked up the phone at 3 a.m., searched for rental groups, job openings, anything that would get her out of there as quickly as possible, because if she stayed one more day, she wouldn't have the strength to go. And he was right about one thing. She couldn't stay to watch him die. Not when every look from him was already breaking her heart. Not when Lily called him Daddy and smiled as if he were the center of the universe. Not when she loved him so much it hurt to breathe. The tears came back silently and hot. Emily wiped them away angrily. She didn't have time to cry. She had to be strong for Lily. Always for Lily. At 5 a.m. she started packing. Lucas hadn't left the office all night, sitting in the leather armchair, the empty whiskey bottle beside him, the phone in his hand, looking at the screen dozens of times, almost calling, almost going upstairs, almost begging for forgiveness. But he didn't, because she was right. He was a coward. He had spent 6 months running from pain in Switzerland, and now he was running from the only thing that made him feel alive, because having and losing was worse than never. Having had. He had lost Anna and James without a choice, but Emily and Lily he was choosing to lose. He was pushing them away before the illness did it for him. Easier this way, he tried to convince himself. Better for them, but Emily's voice echoed. You're a coward. And she was right. When the sun rose, Lucas was still sitting there, sleepless, unfed, with nothing but the certainty that he had made the biggest mistake of his life. But it was too late, wasn't it? At 7 a.m., Emily came down the stairs with Lily in her arms, and 2 suitcases in hand. The kitchen was empty. No coffee brewed, no bread on the table, no sign of light. Better this way. She quickly prepared a bottle for Lily, grabbed some fruit for the trip. She would call an Uber. She would go to a friend's house until she found a permanent place. She would start over again, as she always did. Lily was strangely quiet. She wasn't smiling, she wasn't babbling, just looking around as if searching for something. Someone. He's not here, baby, Emily whispered, her voice breaking. And he won't be. Lily started to whimper. I know, my love. I will miss him too." She picked up her phone to call the car. When she heard footsteps, Lucas appeared in the kitchen doorway. He looked terrible. Red, swollen eyes, unshaven, wearing the same wrinkled clothes from the night before. He looked 10 years older. "Emily." Her voice was hoarse. "I came to say goodbye," she said formally, holding Lily closer. "Thank you for the job opportunity. I left everything clean and organized." "Emily, please." "And no," she raised her hand, "you made it clear yesterday. There's nothing more to say." There's everything to say." Lily saw Lucas and immediately stretched her little arms, whimpering loudly. "Daddy!" Lucas closed his eyes as if he had been punched. "No, Lily." Emily turned the baby away. "You can't." But Lily started to cry. That child's cry that knows exactly what it wants and won't stop until she gets it. "Daddy!" she screamed, thrashing in Emily's arms. "Lily, stop! Please don't do this now." Emily tried to calm her, but the baby only cried louder, her little hands reaching out towards Lucas. "Let me." Lucas stepped forward. "No." Emily stepped back. "Don't make things worse. She's crying." "She'll get over it. Kids get over things." "Emily." "No!" she shouted, and Lily cried even louder. "You don't have the right. You gave up. You chose. Now deal with it." Lucas stood frozen as Lily thrashed and cried, tears streaming down her little red face. "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy!" The baby sobbed, her tiny voice breaking, and something inside Lucas shattered completely. "I'm so sorry," he whispered. "I'm so sorry. It's too late now." Emily's phone rang. The Uber had arrived. She grabbed the bags, adjusted Lily better in her arms, even as the baby squirmed. "Goodbye, Lucas." And she turned her back. She crossed the house towards the front door. Each step hurt. Each step felt wrong. Lily was crying desperately, her little body tense, her hands still reaching back. "Calm down, my love. It will pass. I promise it will pass." Emily lied because she didn't believe it would pass. Not for her. Not any time soon. She opened the door. The car was there, just a few more steps. And then she heard it. "Emily." "Wait." She stopped. She didn't want to stop. She shouldn't stop, but she did. She turned around. Lucas was in the middle of the room, hands in his hair, his face destroyed. "Please, please don't go." His voice broke. "I was wrong. I was so scared that I messed everything up. But please don't go." "Why would I stay?" Emily asked, her voice as cold as ice, even with tears streaming down her face. "To see you push us away every day. For Lily not to understand why you don't want her anymore." "I want her. I want both of you more than anything." "Liar. If you wanted that, you would fight. You would stay. You would cherish every second we have." "I'm scared," he admitted, his voice breaking. "Scared of you seeing me weak. Scared of Lily having memories of me sick and suffering. Scared of you having to take care of me, seeing me wither away." "Do you think I'm not scared?" Emily shouted back. "Do you think this is easy for me? Knowing I'm going to lose you, that Lily is going to lose you." "But I was willing to stay anyway, because a few months with you are worth more than a lifetime of wondering what if." Silence. Lily had stopped crying. She was quiet, looking between the two, with wide, scared eyes. "Emily," Lucas stepped forward. "Forgive me, please. I don't know how to live with this countdown. I don't know how to do this without destroying everything I touch." "Then learn with me, with Lily, together. And if I'm not strong enough, no one asked you to be strong alone." He looked at her, at Lily, back to her. There was so much in his eyes: fear, hope, desperation, love. "Stay," he whispered. "Please, stay with me. Let me do this right. Let me love you until the last second." Emily closed her eyes. Her whole body screamed. To run, to protect herself, to protect Lily from the pain she knew would come. But then Lily stirred in her arms, reaching her chubby little hands towards Lucas. "Daddy," she said softly, almost like a plea, and Emily broke. "You promised me you wouldn't give up," she said, her voice trembling. "On the first night when Lily got sick, you said you would always be here, and I will be for as long as I have. It's not enough. I know, but it's all I can give." Emily looked at Lily, who was looking at Lucas, with so much trust, so much pure, unconditional love. The baby didn't understand diagnoses or deadlines. She only knew she loved that man and wanted to be near him. And Emily realized it wasn't about her. It wasn't about fear or pain or logic. It was about Lily. Lily deserved to have that love, even if it was brief, even if it was painful in the end. A few months of happiness were worth more than a lifetime of wondering what if. She saw hope ignite in his eyes. "You can't give up again. No matter how hard it gets, you fight. You stay. Understand?" "I understand. And when it gets too heavy, when you want to push us away again to protect us, you talk, you share. You don't run away, I promise. And you stop making decisions alone about what's best for me and for Lily. We are a family. Families decide together." The word family visibly broke him. He covered his face with his hands, his shoulders shaking. Emily put the bags down, crossed the room, and stopped in front of him. "Look at me," she asked softly. Lucas lowered his hands. Tears were openly streaming down his face. "I love you," he said, his voice breaking. "I love both of you so much it hurts, so much it scares me, because I've lost everything once, and I don't know if I can survive losing again." "Then don't lose," Emily held his face. Stay and love us back. That's all we ask." "I don't deserve you." "Probably not, but we have you anyway." And then Lily stretched her arms out. Emily looked at the baby, extending her arms hesitantly, as if afraid to touch her and have her disappear. Emily passed Lily to him. The baby immediately snuggled against his chest, buried her little face in his neck, and sighed deeply, as if she was finally where she belonged. And then she did something that froze both adults. She lifted her little head, looked directly into Lucas's eyes, and pressed her forehead against his. The same gesture Emily made when she wanted to comfort her. A gesture of love, of trust, of "I'm here." Lucas completely broke down, holding Lily tightly, burying his face in her baby hair and crying. He cried for everything he had lost, for everything he knew he would lose, for everything he had now, and was so afraid of ruining. "I'm sorry, little one," he whispered to the baby. "I'm sorry for being so foolish. Daddy loves you so much, so much." Lily clapped her hands on his face, wiping away his tears in her clumsy baby way, and laughed. That delightful laugh that meant everything was right in her world, because for her, it was. Emily embraced both of them, and there in the middle of Mr. Anderson's mansion, something healed. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't resolved. There was still pain and fear and uncertainty, but there was love, and for now, that was enough. The Uber driver honked impatiently. "I need to let him go," Emily said, pulling away. "Wait!" Lucas held her hand. "Emily, I need to do this right, the right way." "Do what?" He took a deep breath. He was still holding Lily with one arm. With the other hand, he didn't let go of Emily. "I don't know how much time I have. A year less, maybe more if we're lucky. But whatever it is, I want to spend it with you. Not as boss and employee, not hidden or afraid." He looked directly into her eyes. "I want you both here with me as family." Lucas moves to the master bedroom. "The three of us. Make this place a real home. Let me be a father to Lily, even if for a short time. Let me love you the way you deserve to be loved." Emily couldn't speak. She just nodded, tears streaming down her face. "That's a yes, that's a, you're impossible, and I love you, and I can't believe I'm doing this." She laughed through her tears, but yes, it's a yes. Lucy pulled her in for a kiss, desperate, relieved, full of promises he might not be able to keep, but he would try with every fibre of his being. Lily, squeezed between them, squealed with joy and clapped her hands. And for the first time in months, Mr. Anderson's mansion was full, not of silence, but of life. The first 3 days were strange. Emily woke up in the master bedroom, that huge room overlooking the garden that she had cleaned dozens of times but never imagined sleeping in, and for a few seconds forgot where she was. Then she felt the weight of Lucas's arm around her waist, heard Lily's gentle breathing in the crib beside the bed, and remembered. This was real, frighteningly, wonderfully real. Lucas slept little. She would wake up in the middle of the night and find him watching Lily sleep as if he wanted to memorize every detail, or looking at Emily with an intensity that made her blush, even in the dark. "I can't believe you stayed," he whispered one night. "I can't either," she admitted, "but here I am." "You don't regret it?" he asked her again when it hurt really bad. "Emily, I'm sorry, it was cruel." She leaned in, resting her forehead against his. "I don't regret it for a second." He kissed her slowly, as if she were something precious that could break, and maybe they all were exactly that. On the 4th day, Lucas woke up with a decision. "Let's go out," he announced during breakfast. "Out where?" "Anywhere, park, mall, it doesn't matter. Lily needs sunlight, and we need to stop acting like the house is a bubble that will burst if we leave." Emily bit her lip. "And if someone asks who we are, what do we say?" "The truth." Lucas held her hand across the table. "That we are a family. People will judge. They will think I'm a gold digger. Let them think that." He interrupted her. "I don't care about anyone but us three." And that's how, an hour later, they were at the municipal park with Lily in the stroller. The winter sun shining softly. Lily was fascinated. She pointed at everything. Dogs, birds, other children. She squealed with joy every time she saw something new. "She's never been to a park?" Lucas asked, surprised. "I didn't have time or money for those things," Emily admitted. "It was work, daycare, home, always rushing." Something passed over Lucas's face. Determination. "Then we'll bring her here every day, do everything she missed, everything you two missed and did." In the following days they established a new routine. Mornings at the park, afternoons with Lily playing in the garden while Lucas worked on his laptop, and Emily finally relaxed with a book. Family nights in the living room, Lily crawling between the two of them. Lucas bought a camera, capturing everything. Lily eating, laughing, sleeping, Emily reading to the baby, the three of them together. "You're going to fill up your phone's memory," Emily joked. "I don't care. I want to have every second recorded." And she understood. He was building a legacy, memories for when he wasn't there anymore. The pain was constant, just below the surface of happiness, but they learned to live with it. A week after the near departure, something happened that changed everything again. Lily was on the activity mat in the living room. Lucas and Emily were on the couch. He was reading work contracts. She was studying a catalogue of online courses he had casually left on the table. "You're not giving up, are you?" she said. "On college, never." "You're too smart to waste this, Lou. At least just look at this. You don't have to decide now." Emily was about to respond when Lily made a strange noise. They both looked. The baby was holding onto the coffee table, standing, swaying. "She's going," Emily started. Lily let go of the table, stood alone for 2 endless seconds, and then took a step, wobbly and uncoordinated, but a real step. "My God!" Emily shouted. Lily took another step, then one more, and then fell down laughing. Lucas was frozen, his eyes wide. She walked. Emily picked Lily up, spinning with her. "My love, you walked. You." Lily laughed, not understanding what was special, but happy with the reaction. Emily looked at Lucas. He had tears in his eyes. "Did you see?" she said, bringing Lily to him. "You were here. You saw her first steps." Lucas took the baby, holding her so tightly that she complained. "Sorry, little one." He loosened his grip. "How did you do that? You've grown so much, Daddy." Lily hit his face, proud. "That's right," Daddy saw. "And Daddy is so proud." His voice broke. So proud. Emily hugged, both of them, and in that perfect moment, she forgot about the illness, forgot about the deadline, forgot everything except this. Family, love, life. That night, after Lily fell asleep exhausted from all the excitement, Lucas pulled Emily out to the balcony of their apartment. The garden was lit by soft lights. The night was cold but starry. "Thank you," he said suddenly. "For what? For staying, for giving me this, these days, these moments, Lily's first steps. I almost lost everything. You almost pushed us away," Emily corrected. "But we didn't lose it. We're here. I was so scared," he admitted. "I still am. Every morning I wake up and think, what if today is the day? What if it ends? What if it doesn't end today? What if we have tomorrow? And then, you always know what to say. That's a lie. I'm improvising just as much as you are." Lucas chuckled softly. He pulled her closer, his arms around her waist. "Emily." "Yes? Will you marry me?" She froze. "What? Marry me?" He repeated more firmly. "I don't have a ring yet. I'll buy one tomorrow, but I can't wait to ask." "Lucas, you don't have to." "It's not out of pity or obligation. It's because I love you, because I want Lily to have my name, because I want you to have everything I can give, legal protection, financial security, everything." He held her face. "But above all, because I want to be able to call you my wife, even if just for a little while." Emily felt tears welling up. "This is crazy." "I know. People will talk. Let them. It can give Emily time." He interrupted her, and there was so much certainty in his eyes. "It could be a year, it could be 6 months, it could be less, but I want to be your husband and Lily's legal father. I want this more than anything, so please say yes." She should say no. It was crazy, too fast, too complicated. But then she thought of Lily with the last name Anderson. She thought of having someone by her side, legally and officially, for the first time in her life. She thought of waking up as Lucas's wife, even if for a limited time. And she thought, a few months of marriage are worth more than a lifetime alone. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, I will marry you." Lucas kissed her with such intensity that she forgot how to breathe. When they separated, both were crying. "I'll make it worth it," he promised. "Every day. I'll make you feel loved, protected, special. You already do, so I'll do more." They stood there, embraced under the stars, making plans that they might not be able to complete, but they would do everything to try. The next day, Lucas left early, returning at noon with a Tiffany blue box. Emily was feeding Lily lunch when he entered the kitchen. He extended his hand, asking. She reached out curiously. He opened the box. The ring was perfect, solitaire, simple, elegant, timeless. "Lucas, it's too beautiful. It must have cost a fortune." "It doesn't matter the price. What matters is that it's yours." He took the ring out of the box. "Emily Maria Anderson, do you make me the happiest man in the world by accepting to be my wife?" "I already said yes yesterday." She was laughing and crying at the same time. "Say it again." "Yes, 1,000 times yes." He placed the ring on her finger. It fit perfectly. Lily clapped and shouted without understanding, but celebrating anyway. "Look at Lily!" Lucas picked up the baby. "Mommy is going to marry Daddy. We're going to be a real family." "We already are," Emily corrected. "Now it will be official." They kissed over the kitchen table, with Lily between them celebrating. And for the first time, Emily allowed herself to believe that maybe, just maybe, the universe was on their side. The preparations were quick. Lucas wanted to marry in 2 weeks. Courthouse, nothing big, just the three of them and a lawyer as a witness. Are you sure you don't want something bigger? Emily asked. Your aunt. Friends, I don't need an audience. I need you. He took care of everything. Paperwork, a simple, beautiful white dress for Emily, party clothes for Lily. He even hired a photographer to capture the moments. Emily called her only close friend. Are you out of your mind? Carla shouted on the phone. Marrying a guy you've known for 2 months. I know how it sounds. It sounds like you're being a gold digger or he's manipulating you. Emily, he's a millionaire, and what are you? Emily's voice grew cold. What am I, Carla? Awkward silence. I didn't mean it that way. You did. And you know what? I didn't invite you to give your opinion. I called to let you know because I thought you were my friend. I am your friend. That's why I'm worried. Then trust me. Lucas loves me. I love him. Lily loves him. That's all that matters. And when the money runs out, and when... Emily hung up. Later, Lucas found her crying in their bedroom. What's wrong, my love? She said I'm a gold digger, that you're manipulating me. What? Hey, he knelt in front of her. Look at me. You know the truth. I know the truth. Lily knows the truth. The rest doesn't matter. But she was my only friend. Then she wasn't a true friend. True friends trust, support, and stand by each other. He wiped her tears away. And you have more friends than you think. You have me, you have Lily, you have our family of 3, the best 3 people in the world. And he made her laugh, even with a broken heart. The wedding day arrived sunny and perfect. Emily wore the simple white dress that Lucas had chosen. It fit perfectly, elegant without being over the top. She pinned her hair in a low bun, keeping her makeup natural. When she looked in the mirror, she didn't recognize the woman reflected back. She looked happy. She looked loved. She looked whole. You look beautiful, she turned. Lucas was at the door, in a navy suit, no tie, barefoot because Lily had hidden his shoes. Are you ready for this? More than ever. The 3 of them drove to the courthouse. Lily was dressed like a princess, with a huge bow in her thin hair, drooling on her expensive outfit, and not caring at all. Lucas's lawyer was already waiting, an older, kind man who hugged Emily and said, Congratulations, Lucas is lucky. I'm the lucky one. The ceremony was quick. Standard vows, signatures, witnesses. When the officiant said, You may kiss the bride, Lucy pulled her in for a kiss that made Emily forget where she was. My wife, he whispered against her lips. My husband, Lily shouted, breaking the moment, and everyone laughed. The photographer took hundreds of pictures, the 3 of them together, Lucas kissing Emily, Emily with Lily, Lucas with Lily, all angles, all combinations. For when she grows up, Lucy explained, so she knows she had a father who loved her, and Emily needed to step away to cry. They returned home as a legal family, Emily Anderson, Lily Anderson, names on paper, but real, official, protected. I brought something, Lucas said when they arrived. What? He opened the office door. Inside, on a new desk, was a computer, and next to it, stacks of books, education books, course materials. Lucas, you start on Monday, online college, 4 years. I've already paid the full tuition. He held her hands. And before you say you can't, accept this. You are my wife. Your dream is my dream. I will make it happen. But what if you graduate, become a teacher, teach dozens of children, and when that happens, I will be here. He touched her chest, always cheering for you. Emily kissed him with such force that she almost knocked him over. Thank you for everything, for believing in me. I will always believe. That night, after Lily fell asleep, they made love as husband and wife for the first time, slowly, intensely, full of silent promises. And when Emily fell asleep in his arms, for The first time in months, she wasn't afraid of tomorrow. 3 weeks later, the phone rang during breakfast. Lucas looked at the screen. Geneva Hospital. "Answer it," Emily asked, her heart racing. He answered on speaker. "Mr. Anderson." A formal voice on the other side. "Dr. Smith, I need to speak with urgency about your tests." "I'm listening." "Can you come to the hospital in person? There's an important development." "Speak now." "My wife is here. She knows everything." Pause. "Very well, Mr. Anderson. There was a mistake, a serious error in our laboratory." The world stopped. "What kind of mistake?" Lucas asked, his voice tense. "Your tests were switched with another patient's. The diagnosis you received is not yours." Absolute silence. "What are you saying?" Emily whispered. "I'm saying that Mr. Anderson does not have a brain tumor. He never did. It was our mistake, an unforgivable error. We have redone all the tests 3 times. You are completely healthy." The phone fell from Lucas's hand. He looked at Emily, his eyes wide in total shock. "I'm not dying." "You're not dying," she repeated incredulously. "You're not dying." And then they both collapsed, holding each other, crying, laughing, not believing. Lily, sitting in her high chair, clapped, thinking it was a game. "Daddy!" Lucy picked her up, spinning her around, crying and laughing at the same time. "Daddy will be small. Daddy will see you grow up, will take you to school, will be there when you graduate, will be there for everything." Emily hugged both of them, and there in the kitchen of the Anderson mansion, a miracle happened. Not the miracle of healing, but the miracle of life restored. 2 months later, Emily woke up with the sun coming through the window and the sound of laughter. Coming from the garden, she got up, put on her robe and went to the balcony. Down below, Lucas was chasing Lily across the lawn. The baby, now walking steadily and almost running, screamed with joy every time he pretended to catch her. "Got you!" Lucas lifted her in the air, spinning. Lily laughed so much that she could hardly breathe. "Daddy, more, more!" "You're insatiable, little girl." Emily smiled. It was still strange sometimes to wake up and remember that there was no deadline, that Lucas was healthy, that they had time, all the time in the world. The hospital's call had changed everything. Lucas had sued the clinic, not for the money, but to ensure that the mistake never happened to another person. The settlement included a complete renovation of the lab and new protocols. But more importantly, the American tests confirmed it. He was completely healthy. "Good morning, sleepyhead," Lucas shouted from the garden, waving. "Good morning." She ran down. Lily rushed to her, hugging her legs. "Mommy, look!" She pointed to a bird. "Beautiful, my love." Emily picked her up. "But now it's time for breakfast." "I already prepared it, Lucas," she said. Pancakes, her favorite. They had breakfast at the garden table. Lily covered in jelly, trying to eat by herself and making a mess. "I received the result of my first test," Emily commented, "and I got an A." Lucas let out a celebratory shout that startled Lily. "Did you know? My wife is a genius." "That's an exaggeration, but thank you. We have to celebrate. Dinner out? Lily can stay with the new nanny. Ms. Clara is great. Lily loves her." "Then it's decided. Tonight. Just the 2 of us." Emily smiled, still getting used to it. Emily looked at Lucas, holding his hand. "You both literally saved my life, both figuratively and literally. We were saved too." Lily threw jelly in Lucas's hair. "Gross, Lily," he laughed. "She's definitely your daughter now," Emily joked. "Spoiled and messy. And do you love her?" "I love both of you." In the afternoon, while Lily was napping, Emily studied while Lucas worked. He had returned to actively participating in the company, but not like before. Now with limits and different priorities. Family first. The phone rang. It was Carla, the friend. Emily hesitated, but answered. "Emily, I wanted to apologize for what I said. I was wrong." The voice sounded regretful. I saw the wedding photos, saw how he looks at you, and I realized I was being awful. You were being protective, albeit misguided, but it came from a good place. Can I visit? Meet your husband? See Lily? You can, but know that he is family now, and I protect my family. I understand. I promise to behave. When she hung up, Lucas was at the door. Did you hear? I did, and you were perfect, firm but fair. I learned from you. He crossed the office, pulled her from the chair, and kissed her slowly. I love you, Mrs. Anderson. I love you, Mr. Anderson. Emily rested her head on his shoulder. You know what's funny? When we thought time was short, every second felt precious. Now that we have all the time, it's still precious. Because we learned, Lucas said. We learned that life is not measured in years, but in moments, in love, in family. Lily mumbled in her sleep, searching for her parents' hands. They intertwined their fingers over her. An imperfect family, formed in unconventional ways, but more real. And as the stars shone over the Anderson mansion, three hearts beat in sync, no longer afraid of tomorrow, but filled with hope, love, and life. Your interactions are very important to us. Leave your name in the comments, and we can include you in one of our stories with a greeting made especially for you. M.